Next, we'd like to take a moment to answer a question from our audience. They asked for a closer look at the suppression of ethnic groups in China, including Tibetans, Uyghurs, and Mongolians. Since the Chinese Communist Party took power in 1949, it began to suppress all Chinese people, including members of ethnic groups. In China, the Han ethnic group makes up 94% of China's population. The rest of the country's more than 50 ethnic groups make up the other 6%. In the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, the Chinese Communist Party launched a series of political movements. According to research, 80 million people died during those campaigns. Many were executed or died because of the Great Famine in 1959 to 1961. That 80 million death toll is higher than both world wars combined. Han Chinese made up most of the toll, but ethnic groups are said to have suffered more as they launched even stronger protests. According to official figures, in some areas of Tibet in the 60s, the ratio of young and middle-aged men to women dropped to 1 to 7, or even lower in some cases. That was the result of mass arrests and killings driven by the regime. At the same time, the CCP pushed a relocation campaign, moving Han Chinese to areas largely home to other ethnic groups, turning them into minorities in their own regions. The regime also restricted them from using their native languages and practicing their religious beliefs. This aimed to eliminate their cultural identity and has continued until today. Han Chinese suffered similar problems too. Ancient Chinese Han culture is deeply rooted in Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism. It's based on universal values such as compassion, righteousness, wisdom, and faith. But the CCP has replaced these with communist culture, steeped in lies, cover-ups, and violence. Communism is also inherently atheist and directs people to worship communist leaders instead. In this sense, the conflict can't be viewed as conflict between the Han Chinese and other ethnic minorities, but as one between the communist regime and all Chinese people, regardless of their ethnic roots. Meanwhile, the CCP has been using Han Chinese to achieve its goals by suppressing other ethnic groups.